Welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope everybody is having a great start to their week or a great week so far. Students, this class is an IELTS speaking class and we will be focusing on the topic of club membership in part 2 and part 3 of this speaking. For those of you who are new to the IELTS speaking section of the exam has 3 parts. Part 1 are general questions. Part 2, you speak for 1 to 2 minutes on a topic. Here we'll focus on, again, club membership. And then part 3 will continue with that topic or questions related to that topic. Welcome, students. Hi, Abraham. Hi, Amanjot. Nice to see Parmar, a member that's back. Good to see everybody. Students, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS, visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are our websites. They power these live classes. Use them every day to improve your English and your IELTS band scores. The academic website looks like this with this blue background. And if you'd like to join the premium version, just click this big red button right there. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access, only costs 30 to 50 bucks US, depending on where you are. And then you have a couple of 100 hours of materials, videos, interactive exams to help you improve. We are an IDP affiliate, a British Council partner, and an IELTS test registration center. For general IELTS students, check us out at gieltshelp.com. It's the green background here. Again, click that big red button. Use the code UP9FOR-YOU to get an extra 10% discount that's coming from one of our most recent video releases on the speaking section. You can check that out on our YouTube channel. For weekly updates on live classes, video releases, make sure to subscribe and like our channel. Premium students, you do have 2 extra classes each week on Thursdays and Fridays. This week we'll have classes tomorrow and the day after from our premium users, reading tomorrow and then another speaking class. And if you are using your mobile, definitely download our apps, Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help, and link the apps to the websites. Instagram, yes, IELTS_AEHelp, GIELTS Help. And for questions, please send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. Yesterday we had no class. That's because it was Canada Day. We had a civic holiday yesterday, celebrating the formation of the country of Canada a little over 150 years ago. Yes, Parmar is asking a question. If I purchased the course from your app, does it still count as a membership? Absolutely, Parmar. If you're not getting the links to those premium user classes, please send me an email to one of these addresses and I will hook you up with those links. Okay. All right. So again, students, today it's speaking. It's for everyone. You will have a chance to speak and interact. I will be evaluating your band score and giving you feedback and tips on how to improve. To check out our most recent speaking video, follow this link here. Welcome, Carolina, our chat moderator. Good to have you with us today. You will see Carolina in blue in the chat, everybody. She is here to help make this class run smoothly. All right, students, let's get right into the speaking section. So the IELTS speaking is, again, a 12 to 15-minute interview. It's quite quick. It's only a quarter of the time of the other sections. And you have to show your best English. You are not sitting with an English teacher. The examiner's job is simply to assess your ability to communicate effectively in English. When you go to your exam, you have to show up at least 20 minutes before to register, but my suggestion is go at least an hour before and switch to English. Practice your English with other candidates. Make sure that your brain is fully switched to English before your interview begins. And then you will go to a private room where the examiner will meet you, and they will begin. They will say, "Welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test." We are conducting the test in Victoria. The time right now is 14 o'clock. Let's begin. May I see your identification? Usually this is the first question. May I see your identification? And this is your cue, this is your signal to start showing your best English. So make sure that you use full sentences right away from the beginning. And I see Abraham is already giving us some answers here in the chat. Students, I am looking at the chat here. This is Abraham's answer here. I've got the chat right in front of me. Abraham here says, "Gladly, this is my passport that I used to register for the IELTS exam a month ago. Please take a look at it." Perfect. That's great. Okay, so lots of ways to answer this question in a nice full sentence. This is one of them. Fantastic. Amanjot, another answer. Yes, here it is, my passport that I used to register for the exam. Please take a look. Okay. It's good, Amanjot. We need a comma here for a natural break after here it is. Okay, and those are nice high band starts. It's showing the examiner that you prepared. You're ready to go. Students, this is speaking, so make sure to speak and repeat. Copy what I say, copy how I say it. I speak with a West Coast North American accent. You will hear this type of English all along the western Pacific coast of Canada and the US, from Alaska down to California, in Anchorage, Vancouver, Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego. A lot of people speak this similar kind of clean, crisp English. So make sure to just copy, repeat as best as you can. Okay. All right. Oral John is saying the better the shorter. No, I mean, if you think about that question, Oral John, if you're speaking in a short form of English, is that going to show the examiner that you're an expert user of the English? Not really. So you do want to speak in full sentences without over speaking. Okay, that's the key here. After the examiner asks for your passport, while you're holding it or while they're looking at it, they will ask you for your name. They'll say, "What is your full name?" There's also kind of a hidden question there. They will ask you, "What should I call you?" Okay. So you want to answer both of these questions in one answer. Again, it shows the examiner that you have prepared. So you might answer by saying something like, "My given name is Timothy, and my family name is McKinley. Please call me Tim." Okay, so again, full sentences, clear professional communication. What is your full name? My given name is Timothy and my family name is McKinley. Please call me Tim. That's a professional way to introduce yourself. Okay. Shushant is giving us this answer here in the chat. Shushant says, the name is Shushant Kumar. You can address me by my first name, Shushant, and that's okay. Just remember, students, that you are in a professional setting with an examiner. It's better to ask the examiner to call you by a certain name than giving them permission. Again, it's just more suitable for the situation. Okay, so while this is okay, Shushant, you do want to make sure that you're recognizing the situation accurately. Okay, so you might want to go with something like, please call me by my given name, Shushant. Okay, it's a little bit more accurate to the situation. All right, so technically the examiner is not giving you marks yet for these questions or for the next one or two questions, But in practice, they are measuring your English ability right from the beginning, so right from the first words that you speak. Okay. The examiner will say, now I'll ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better, and some questions on a general topic. Do you work or study? This is a very common question. Make sure you prepare for it. Okay, maybe you do both, maybe you do neither, maybe you do one or the other. Again, just reflect the question and answer it clearly. Okay, so aside from studying for this IELTS exam, I am neither employed nor am I a student. I am taking a gap year to prepare for my master's studies abroad. So that could be a nice answer to this. Now notice this interesting conjunction here, neither nor. Does anybody know what that type of conjunction is called in grammar in the English language, like neither nor, or if you're both working and you're employed, then it's both and. You could have whether or, not only but also, these kinds of paired conjunctions. Does anybody know what those are called? The reason I'm asking is because it's a very strong form of communication that shows a higher level of English, and it's really important for the IELTS exam that you learn the different kinds of conjunctions used in the English language. Okay. Amanjad says those are correlative conjunctions. They are indeed, Amanjad. So paired conjunctions are called correlative conjunctions. Does anybody know why we use them in English? Okay, so paired conjunctions are like both and, not only, but also. Whether or, neither nor. So either or is another one, Amanjad, absolutely. Okay, anybody know why we use those? Okay, it's good to know these. These are used to emphasize the relationship between sentence elements. So in this case, work and study. Okay, so you want to use those. Students, the three types of conjunctions that you have to clearly know for both the speaking and the writing section of the IELTS exam are these ones that we're just talking about, the correlative conjunctions. You also want to know your coordinating conjunctions, and you want to know your subordinate or subordinating conjunctions. Okay, so these are the three families of joining words, basically. In a lot of videos and lessons, you hear teachers and people talking about joining words. That's okay to think of it that way. But if you really want to understand these, if you really want to be able to effectively use these, then you should know their technical definitions, and you should understand them as correlative, coordinating, subordinating conjunctions. Okay, and when you understand these clearly and you use them effectively, that will definitely help your band score. All right. Again, if that's new for you, if you're like, whoa, I've never heard somebody say that, I only hear people saying joining words or connecting words, then it's definitely a good idea to join one of our premium courses, either at gieltshelp.com for general IELTS or at aehelp.com for academic IELTS, where we give you just very clear definitions of parts of language and parts of English, and it's just going to be so much more effective when you're communicating. So again, for academic, it's aehelp.com. For general, it's gieltshelp.com, and I highly recommend checking those out. It's worth spending a couple dollars to save yourself having to sit the IELTS exam again. Okay. All right, so again, at the beginning, the examiner will ask you one or two of these questions, like what is your hobby, or for example, what did you do at the what do you do at the weekends? Okay. Very common questions. Make sure to practice these. You don't want to sound like you memorized answers. You want to sound natural. So when you practice these, don't just try to answer them in one way. Always practice different ways of answering these warm-up questions. If you're sounding very robotic during the start of the IELTS interview, it will kind of signal to the examiner that you're probably at best a band 6 or maybe a 6.5. If you're sounding like you memorized answers, then the examiner will not be able to give you a score that's like a band 7 or higher. Okay. It's really difficult to do it that way. So you have to be dynamic, okay? You have to practice different answers when you're getting ready. So what do you do at the weekends? Let's see, we've got an answer here from Marasa in the chat. Okay. Marasa says, quite often, I spend my weekends either with my family at home or outside with my close friends. Like last Saturday, I went to the city park with my friend Tina and had a quality time with her. Okay, watch your unnecessary use of words, Marasa, but otherwise quite good. Okay, I like how you included an example. Examples are very good for natural conversation. The examiner is marking you on how natural you're speaking. That's one of the kind of overreaching criteria. Okay, so that's pretty good. All right. Mr. Kenny, I see that you have your exam tomorrow. You're mentioning in the chat. Well, good luck on that exam. I'll send you a little good luck thumbs up here. Okay, boom. There you go, Mr. Kenny. That's for you in the chat. All right. Yeah, so defining the questions, using the questions, really good idea. What do you do at the weekends? If your weekends are Saturdays and Sundays, you might respond by saying something like, on Saturdays, I like to do something fun, like going out with my friends or watching a movie. And on Sundays, I like to be productive. So I either do a bit of studying or cleaning up my home. Last Sunday, I spent a couple of hours deep cleaning my living room. Okay. So again, kind of like Marasa's, right? There's a bit of explanation and then an example. So on Saturdays, I like to do something fun, like going out with my friends or watching a movie. And on Sundays, I like to be productive. So I either do a bit of studying or cleaning up my home. Last Sunday, I spent a couple of hours deep cleaning my living room. Okay, again, students, try to copy these sentences. These are nice, natural responses to these questions. And if you're learning some new words, for example, this collocation here, a deep cleaning. Okay, it means that you're doing a little bit of extra cleaning, maybe washing the cushions on your couch or the curtains, I don't know, but an extra step to the cleaning. Again, using quantification, so a couple of hours, immediately getting your brain thinking about numbers. Numbers are really good for clear communication. Write these down, take some notes, practice these as we work through today's class. Okay. De La Cruz, nice. Okay, De La Cruz has got a Nice answer for us here. Delafruz says, at the weekends, I always go to my village to spend some quality time with my family or friends, doing interesting things like watching TV or going out with my friends. Okay. We've got a couple of corrections here real quick. Delafruz, don't use the word things. Okay. Things is just a cheap replacement for other words, like in this case, activities. Okay, always find that better word than things. Definitely don't use the word stuff. It's low quality language, low quality English. Okay. And watch repetition. So you have time with my family or friends doing interesting activities like watching TV or going out with my friends. Instead of going out with my friends, I would say going out to visit a park with my former classmates. Okay, something like that, right? So something a little bit different. Okay. All right, try not to repeat words within the same one or two sentences. That takes a lot of practice. It's not easy. If you repeat a word or two, it's okay. Don't panic. Not the end of the world. Just make sure to practice avoiding repetition when you're getting ready for the IELTS exam. Okay. All right, and then the examiner will introduce the topic of part 1. In this case, the examiner will say, let's talk about art. Okay. Now, in a real exam, this is where some students start to panic. They go, well, I don't know anything about art. Okay. And they go, I don't like, something like, can I change the topic? No, you can't change topics in the IELTS exam. They definitely introduce topics that they think most people, if not everybody, should be able to talk about. So whatever the topic is, students, stay calm, focus, and think clearly. Okay. What is art? Students, let's start with that question here real quick, because in the IELTS, when you get this topic or the introduction of the topic, you should immediately think in your head like, okay, well, what is that topic? Like, what are we talking about here, right? So what is art? Okay, think about that, right? So here you'd want to think, okay, well, what is art? Okay. So Anush, again, like I would definitely not say something like, although I'm not interested in painting. Okay. So Marasa says something like painting, drawing, sketching. Sure. Okay. Those are all art. Abraham says visual objects. Sure. Like what, Abraham? What else would we consider art? Art is actually quite a broad topic, and suddenly many of you will realize like, oh, wait a second, I do know lots about art, right? And it's just when people think about art, they tend to think only about paintings. Art is not just paintings. Okay. Amanjat says creative activities to express oneself, like dancing. Yeah, dancing is an art form. Absolutely. Sculpture, graphic design. Yeah, very good, Ugulhan. So sculpting, graphic design, sure. Interior design. Sure. How about movies, music? Those are all considered art forms as well. Okay. So that's all art. Singing, Sultan, absolutely. So now probably some of you going, oh, wait a second. Yeah, okay, I like art. Not a big painter, but I like to sing. Or you like to cook. Sure, Rifat, cooking can be an art form as well. Absolutely. Even cooking, yeah, why not? It's beautiful art. Okay. Crafts. Yeah, there you go. Now you're thinking. So here's the first question. Students, give me a nice full sentence answer. Do you like to draw or paint? Okay. And you might say something like, even though I am not an avid painter, I do like to doodle, especially when I feel bored. Last month, during a long business meeting, I managed to doodle a great picture of my dog. Just don't let your boss hear you, right? But that could be a good answer, good natural answer, okay? So take a look at this one, students, and repeat after me. Even though I'm not an avid painter, I do like to doodle, especially when I feel bored. Last month, during a long business meeting, I managed to doodle a great picture of my dog. Okay. Students, how many conjunctions are in this answer? Okay, so this is a nice complex compound sentence. Okay, just for fun, how many conjunctions? So still on that topic of joining words or linking words, how many conjunctions can you spot in my answer? Okay, even though I'm not an avid painter, I do like to doodle, especially when I feel bored. Last month, during a long business meeting, I managed to doodle a great picture of my dog. Abraham says 3. Does anybody agree with Abraham? What are they? Can you just write them? Amanjot says even though is 1. What are the other ones? Yeah, very good, Abraham. When and during. Okay, so we've got even though, when, and during. Okay, very nice. Good for those of you who spotted that. Good job, Abraham. Well done. This thumbs up is coming straight for you. Boom. There you go. Okay. Follow-up question. What type of conjunctions are these? Let's see who can surprise me with some good language or linguistic description. What type of conjunctions are these? Okay. So we've got even though, when, and during. These all belong to one family, and for those of you who are in this class from kind of the start, you'll remember the 3 groups that we discussed are correlative conjunctions, coordinating conjunctions, and subordinating conjunctions. Okay, N. Where did N come from? Just the letter N. Okay, N says those are subordinating conjunctions. And you're right. Now, when you know your English really, really well, you will learn that there are 4 groups of subordinating conjunctions. Okay, and when you're thinking of linking words, this is really how you should be learning and understanding them. 4 groups of subordinating conjunctions. What are they? Let's see. Can anybody surprise me this morning? It's morning time for me here on the west coast of Canada. So what are those 4 groups of subordinating conjunctions? Yeah, I saw that, Anna. I'll reply to it a little bit later today, my time. Okay. So even though, when, during belong to one of these 4 groups of subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions are divided into 4 groups. One is called opposition, okay, where you show opposites. That's like even though, or however, or although. There are lots more, but these are some of the common ones. Okay, that's called opposition. Okay. Then another group is called cause and effect. Okay. These ones will include words like because. Okay. So it's called cause and effect. That's another group. And again, students, if you're like, oh, do I really need to know this for IELTS? Yeah, absolutely. Not just for IELTS, but also for your education and for your professional work. Okay. They do connect dependent and independent clauses. Okay. So another one, a lot of you know this one as well, is condition. Okay. Like if, an if conditional statement, right? Yep. And then there's time. Yeah, very good. One of you got time. Marasa says one is to show time. Yeah, time conjunctions. Before, after, okay, when. These are time conjunctions. So these are the 4 groups of subordinating conjunctions, right? Keep these in mind. So it's good to know these. Opposition, cause and effect, condition, and time. IELTS examiners love to hear effective, accurate use of these conjunctions. If you're going for those high band scores like 7, 8, 9, these are what you need to use in control for sure. Okay. So here in this answer, do you like to draw or paint? My answer again is even though I am not an avid painter, learn the word avid, I do like to doodle, especially when I feel bored. So here we've got opposition. Okay, even though, all right? And we've got 2 time conjunctions. This one, when, is an interesting one because it's not just time, it's also condition. Okay, so it's time and condition together. So I like to doodle, especially when that condition, when that time happens, then I doodle. I feel bored. Okay, and then during or while is time. While can also be opposition. So there's some funny ones out there. It's good to learn them. Okay, all right. So make sure to learn these so-called linking words in a technical way. If you only learn them as kind of linking words and then use them randomly when you can, it's much less effective than when you know them accurately as subordinating conjunctions and you know the different groups, especially when it comes to writing. So when you're doing task 1, task 2 writing, it becomes even more important to be able to control and use these words effectively. Okay. So again, for those of you who are like, whoa, blew my mind, then have your mind blown a few more times. Join our premium course. Go to your My Student account and then get into your full interactive writing, reading, listening sections, and really learn the technical aspects of good communication English, and then you'll be able to do much better, not just on your IELTS, but you'll be able to do better in school and in work as well. Okay, so for general IELTS students, it's going to be gieltshelp.com. Okay. All right, so getting back to the lesson here, let's try a question that's present perfect. Have you ever been to an art show? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one, students. Have you ever been to an art show? Okay, now this is present perfect, so again, a little bit of grammar here. Know your grammar, know your perfect tenses. Okay. Immediately answer the question with present perfect. So you want to answer with something like, yes, I have, or no, I haven't. Be careful. If you say, no, I haven't, it's kind of like, really? You've never been to an art show in your whole 20 years of life? Hard to believe. So be really careful with negative answers. It's usually better to answer positively. Okay. So yes, I have. I have been to an art gallery a few years back on a school field trip. We went to Vancouver, and I saw a modern art show with some interesting works. I remember a strange painting of a poodle. Poodle's a type of dog. Okay, so again, there's your answer, explanation, example, stop, right? So have you ever been to an art show? Yes, I have. I have been to an art gallery a few years back on a school field trip. We went to Vancouver. I saw a modern art show with some interesting works. I remember a strange painting of a poodle. Okay. Abraham has some answers for us. Good for you, Abraham, for engaging the chat. Students, that's what you want to do. So I am looking at the chat. I'm looking at what you're thinking, what you're saying. Don't just write your answers in the chat, but also say them. Okay. So in this case, Abraham, you should be saying, yes, I've been to art galleries. I suggest using the have instead of the contraction. Really emphasize that grammar. Show the examiner, like, I know present perfect. I have been to art galleries. Okay. And then use it again. I've visited one a few months back. Even if, like, with a few months we might not always use present perfect, it's still good. Just use it. Spoken English is a little bit more flexible than written English. Okay, so yes, I have been to art galleries. I've visited one a few months ago with my sisters and my niece. I really enjoyed the experience because there were many different types of artwork created by local artists. Very good, Abraham. That would be like a band 9 for sure, as long as you say that nice and fluently and with relatively clear pronunciation. You don't have to sound British. You don't have to sound American. It just has to be clear. Okay. All right, Sapa Games has this answer for us. Sapa says, unfortunately, I have visited an art exhibition a few months ago with my friends, which was held in downtown of Cebu. I vividly remember some interesting and gorgeous works of art that amazed me a lot. Okay, it looks pretty good, Sapa. One weird part of this, I'm not sure why you did that, is the unfortunately. Why unfortunately? What happened? Do you have some kind of a bad experience? I'm not sure why that's there. I think maybe you wanted to say fortunately. Okay, but it's kind of weird. Like I wouldn't add those. Okay, that will definitely go. Why? But even fortunately is a little bit strange. AAK says Carlos's answer is definitely a band 9. Let's see, where is Carlos? I don't see Carlos's answer. I see comment by Carlos, but I don't see the answer. Maybe I don't. Sometimes I think I don't see all the comments. I do see Alexander's though here. Alexander says, yes, I have. And then again, just use that present perfect again, Alexander. I've visited the most famous art galleries in Russia, Tretyakov in Moscow and Emirtaz in St. Petersburg. Last time I took my friends to I took my colleagues to St. Petersburg in 2017. Okay. Yeah, this part here, Alexander, a little bit strange, a little bit off. Okay. So you need to clean that up a little bit. So I have, I've visited the most famous art galleries in Russia, in St. Petersburg. The last time I was there, I took my colleagues with me to see these places back in 2017, something like that. Okay, would be a little bit accurate. Okay, all right. Doing really good here, students. I'm liking what I'm seeing. What I would like to do for the next 20 minutes of the class is to give you a chance to actually speak. So I'm going to share this Zoom link with you in the chat, and we'll continue here on YouTube with the addition of Zoom. Now, for those of you who are premium users on our websites, you get these full Zoom classes twice each week, usually, unless there's vacations or some other event, but most of the time you get these 2 classes each week. Go ahead and join that Zoom session. I will start up this Zoom, and then you'll have a chance to connect with me, and everybody will be able to hear these comments and these answers in real time with a slight delay. And then you'll have an even better idea of what it takes to get a certain band score on the IELTS test. So let me just start this up. I will continue using my camera here on YouTube. I see Alexander's already stepped into the lobby. I'll just give it one more moment. While I'm doing that, students, pay close attention to the react little heart here. Okay. When you go on that react, you can raise your hand, and then this hand will appear. Okay. And then if you feel like I've changed my mind, I don't want to volunteer, then you can always lower your hand, but hopefully that does not happen. Okay, we've got 10 people in here. Let me just get everybody on board, and then we'll look for a couple of volunteers to answer some of these questions. Okay. All right, students. So go ahead and raise your hands. Let me know that you're wanting to speak. I'm assuming that if you're in here, you're already wanting to speak, but it's still better if you raise your hand. Okay. All right, Alexander, you've got your hand up. Why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself?
Hello, Adrian.
How are you, Alexander?
So far, so good. As good as can.
Good.
How are you doing?
I'm still waiting for the day, Alexander, where I ask you that question, and then you go, Adrian, today I'm doing great. And then I'm going to get into what happened. Why are you?
I think millions of people dreaming for this day.
It will be legendary, Alexander. All right. Okay, Alexander, let's get into a few questions here. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test, and I will give you instructions for each of the 3 parts. May I see your identification?
Gladly. Here's my passport, which I have used to register for this test. Please have a look.
For part 1, I'll ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Do you work or study?
I never work nor study except some preparation for this test.
Okay. Let's talk about art. Did you study art in school?
Well, I think I had some lessons for drawing, or even don't remember how is it called, does it called, but not seriously, for sure, because I am not so good in painting.
What is your favorite type of art?
I think my favorite type of art is movies, if we can consider them as art theaters. Probably drawing as well, pictures. I enjoy to watch some famous pictures. Even I downloaded some to my electronic picture at home.
Okay, I'm going to stop there and give you some feedback, Alexander, because you're doing really good. Or I should say you're doing really well. It's the Canadian in me. Okay, so good start. I like how you're controlling your responses so you're not over speaking, which is really good. One really important tip, everybody, is confident affirmative language. Okay, your English, and this is so true for most people who speak English as a second language. Your English is better than you think. Okay, most people, native speakers, everybody, use only about 500 to maybe 1,000 words a day on average. Okay. So be confident in your language and go with that confident kind of thinking. Like I said or asked, did you study art in school? And you said, well, I think I had some lessons for drawing. And then you said, even I don't remember, how does it called? That was really awkward English and completely unnecessary, Alexander. So, never tell this. I always say this to students. Don't say sorry to the examiner if you make a mistake or if you're not sure what you're actually saying. You should never apologize for language. And don't tell the examiner that you're not sure about what you're saying or how you're saying or what you're calling it. Okay, so always sound confident even if you're not. Okay, because if you're telling the examiner that you don't know what it's called, you're basically telling them, take marks away from me. Do you get what I'm saying, Alexander? It's like, I'm sorry, I can't think of the word, I don't know what I'm saying. It's like, okay, well, you're basically just told me, like, please take marks away for lexical resource and grammar, right? So you never want to do that, right? So you want to say, well, I think I had some lessons for drawing. And then even this part, like, not seriously, for sure. I took my grade 7 art class seriously, Alexander. I don't know about you, but I thought I was a pretty good artist and elementary school and middle school. So confidence, right? So, well, I think I had some lessons for drawing. If I remember correctly, I had art classes from grade, what would you say, Alexander, grade 4 all the way to grade 10. Okay. And I still have some pretty good drawings from those days in storage.
Oh yeah, clear. Even primary school, I can say.
Yeah, absolutely. So confidence all the way. So try this one more time. Give me a nice confident answer. Did you study art in school?
Yes, I did, as all children in my country. I took some lessons during my primary school, and still these drawings I kept somewhere at my homes.
Perfect. So much better. So much better. And self-correction like that, when you say home, because you said homes first in your home, that's perfectly good. Okay. So that answer was way better. Your first answer was like a band 6. That answer was like a band 8, 9. Okay. Way better answer, right? It's confident, clear, got you, right? And then next question. So that's what you want to do. So yeah, don't second guess, don't question, just be confident. Okay.
Okay, clear.
All right. Thank you so much, Alexander. That's awesome. Just a question of curiosity. Do you still have some of your drawings from when you were a little kid?
I think at my home, for sure, it should be somewhere.
Right.
At least on some books.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, a lot of us do. I still do. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Thank you so much, Alexander.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Maybe a good time to dig up some of those old drawings for some nostalgia, right? Okay, everybody. Let's take another volunteer. That was Alexander. Please give Alexander a thumbs up. It takes, bravery to share your English like that, right? All right. Amanjot, why don't you unmute yourself? You were very active in the class. Let's hear your voice. Hi, Amanjot.
Hi, Adrian. How are you?
I am doing good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Awesome. Amanjot, are you preparing for an upcoming IELTS exam?
Yeah, it's on 26th July.
Ooh, okay. Okay, so you got about 3 weeks.
All right. Amanjot.
You have about 3 weeks, Amanjot?
Yeah.
That's a good amount of time to focus on strategy. Remember, students, that in 3-4 weeks, I mean, you can't really learn a lot of English. So Amanjad, with that much time, like with 3 weeks, don't focus too much on English. Like, don't focus on learning a lot of new vocabulary or a lot of new grammar or anything like that. Focus more on strategy. Okay, like how to answer questions. What's the correct essay structure for task 2? What are the correct strategies for answering questions in the reading section? Languages takes months and years to learn, and definitely months to improve. So focus on strategy for the next 3 weeks. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Let's practice a couple questions. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Have you ever been to an art show?
Yes, I have been to. Recently, I visited an exhibition in a Sunshine Museum where I saw a lot of artwork where artists from around the globe represented their artwork, and it was a mesmerizing experience for me.
Okay. If you could make any art piece, what would you make?
Without a doubt, it is going to be the sorry. Without a doubt, it is going to be something related to the nature. For example, related to rivers, because I am very much into the nature. Recently, I have prepared a painting of Niagara Falls when I visited with my close friends.
Okay. All right, I'm going to stop there and give you a little bit of feedback, okay? I asked you, have you ever been to an art show? And you said, yes, I have been to. In English, you always need the object, okay? Unless you just keep it with the verb, unless you say like, yes, I have. But you can't keep going with yes, I have been to. Then you need to finish that. So you have to say, yes, I have been to an art gallery.
Okay.
And then it's a full sentence. You can't just drop it at the to. You can't. In English, you generally cannot drop a sentence at the preposition like to. Okay. So
Okay.
if you have a preposition, I know it's a tricky one because in some languages you can, right? That's probably what's happening, is you're doing a bit of translation there. So just be careful with that. And then you said, recently I visited an exhibition in the Sunshine Museum, and the rest of that answer was amazing. So what's interesting, Amanjot, with your answers is that mostly your answer is very good. It's like a band 8.5. But then you have one or two kind of awkward pieces, like the yes, I have been to, which drops it down to like a band 7. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So you have to really pay attention to those little awkward pieces, so that you don't lose that whole band or 1.5 band scores. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. So watch the full, and in this case, how much up my tip is, to avoid, like, you're probably thinking, well, Adrian, how do I do that? Like, how do I avoid my awkward phrase, right?
Yeah, actually, I saw one of the videos where you have said that you have written like, yes, I have, but I was so much confused that I put I have been to. That's why.
Yeah. And the way that you can avoid that, this is for everybody who finds like, oh, sometimes I just make these awkward phrases. Speak a little bit more formally. So just remember, like, subject, verb, object. I have been to an art gallery. So just say the full sentence, right? There's nothing wrong with being a little bit more formal, and that way that you can avoid some of these awkward phrases, and then your band score will be at its top. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Amanjad, and come back. Okay. I want to make sure to help you in your upcoming exam. So come back again. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks, Amanjad. All right, let's give Amanjad a thumbs up. That was really awesome. Here, can I do a react? I can. A thumbs up. Boom. There we go. Okay. All right, let's take somebody else. We'll take Pavel. Pavel, are you there? Pavel Lusenko. If you're there, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm here.
How are you, Pavel?
I'm alright. What about you?
I'm pretty good, thanks, Pavel. All right, Pavel. So we'll kind of we're gonna skip part 2 just because we're a little bit short on time, but we have to pay attention to the topic of part 2 because part 3 is connected to that. So the topic of part 2 is talk about a club that you have been a member of in the past. Have you ever been, Pavel, a member of a club?
I only had a membership of fitness club. That's all.
Okay. Have you ever been like a member of a chess club or a book club or some kind of a study group or a study club, speaking club, English learning, anything like that?
Unfortunately, no. Maybe because I'm an introvert, I just avoid to public place.
Okay. What are your hobbies?
Well, actually, I have a lot of hobbies. I really enjoy reading, especially book relates to financial literature, and also when I have a free spare time, I prefer going outside and just enjoy nature.
May I ask, are you in university?
Now I've already worked as a software engineer. I have been working for over 5 years.
Okay, so did you graduate university already?
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Okay. And I'm guessing you did computer science, software engineering in university? Yeah. Were you a member of any club in university during your studies, like computer design, robotics club, anything like that?
Unfortunately, no. I just took a lot of different online educational courses, which helped me to improve my knowledge.
Okay, that's fair. So for sure you've been a member of a fitness club, which is fine. And sometimes on the IELTS, like in the IELTS, everybody, the examiner is not looking for the truth. So let's say that you, in university, Pavel, let's say there was a computer club. You never joined it, but your friends did, or you knew a lot about it. You can just pretend that you did. That's what I would do. If I had a whole section about clubs and activities, I might just say, yeah, I was a member of a computer club. And, if you feel guilty about that after the exam, you can tell the examiner, like, hey, I wasn't really a member of that club. I just made that up so that I had something to talk about. They'll probably laugh, but appreciate that. All good. It's all good to do that. Okay, it's an exam. For speaking. Okay. Pavel, let's try a couple of these questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's talk about social activities. What are common kinds of organizations that people participate in?
Well, from my point of view, in my country, there are several different public organizations. For example, volunteer centers, which provide homeless people or people who are not able to afford some essential things for their life. Apart from that, also I know that there is other kind of organization. For example, it might be public clubs. I mean, people just keep together and discuss about their hobbies, lives, their preference in life.
Why are these kinds of clubs so popular?
Well, I think it helps people to meet new friends, build a strong relationship, and also develop their communicational skills.
Which kinds of skills can be gained from being a member of a club?
As I mentioned before, of course, communicational skills, and apart from that, people are able to improve their own knowledge about different areas. For example, in such clubs, people are able to gain more information about other industries. Maybe some of them just want to change their life. I mean, just change their career.
Okay. I'll stop there and give you some feedback. So, Pavel, you've got great English, like really good English, for sure. You've got great fluency. You've got excellent lexical resource, a really good vocabulary, very nice use of words, good grammar, good grammatical structure and range. I would say that your band score at this point is probably like a band 8. Okay. Maybe even an 8.5, but definitely I would say I would be comfortable giving you an 8 for these answers. It's very good English. How can you improve? I think your content. So keep your thoughts simple, right? Like, what are common kinds of organizations that people participate in? You said volunteer groups. That was a good one. And then you kind of got stuck. You're like, oh, what other kinds? We even talked about it, like technology, computer clubs, right? You said you had a gym membership. What kind of a club is that?
It's like a fitness club.
Yeah, but if we say like soccer or football or gym or badminton, what kind of clubs are those, generally speaking? Or sports clubs.
Yeah.
Right? So sports clubs is a common one. Hobby clubs. Yeah, you kind of alluded to that, but you didn't clearly say hobby clubs. Right? So there are lots and lots of different kinds of book clubs, right? You enjoy reading, book clubs. There are art clubs, right? Where the topic of art, painting, and so on, art clubs. So there are lots of different types. What I would do if I were you, Pavel, are you going to do an IELTS exam soon?
Yeah.
Okay.
A few days left.
Okay. So perfect. Okay. So don't worry about English, your vocabulary, your grammar is totally fine. Just think about strategy. One game that I suggest you play, especially if you can, I think you can do this by yourself, but you might want to find a partner for this. So one game that you can play, which will help you to give better answers, is pick a topic like clubs. And then you have 10 seconds to say as many connected words to that topic as you can. So I say clubs, you say sports. I say technology, you say AI. I say environment, you say global warming, right? So we keep going back and forth so that you're identifying the words and the topics that are related to those words. And you basically train your brain, in English of course, to think quickly about the common or popular topics that are related to ideas. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so try to play that game a little bit, right? Where it's basically what I'm talking about here, everybody, so that I'm a little bit clear. It's called word associations.
Yes, thank you. It's a great advice.
Okay, so yeah, so play that word association game. So club, sports, chess, computer, right? So word associations. Yeah, do that, and I think you'll do great once it comes to the IELTS exam. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Pavel. That was really great English. Thank you for sharing your skills. All right, everybody, let's give Pavel a big thumbs up because that was awesome. That was really good. Band 8, are you kidding me? That's fantastic. But why not go for band 9, right? If you can, for sure. I think, Pavel, you can get a band 9 with some good content, for sure. Students, I'm going to stop my Zoom there just because I've run out of time for today's class. I'm actually a little bit over. I'm just having so much fun. But I will be back for our premium members tomorrow with some reading and then speaking on Friday. If you enjoyed this class, students, definitely sign up for aehelp.com for academic IELTS and GIELTS help for general IELTS. These are our websites. They power these live classes. They're great for you. A lot of these skills and tips that I'm giving you, they're found here. I've poured my brain into these websites. Go to your My Student account, click on the tabs full of videos, practice exams, lots more for you. General IELTS, GIELTShelp.com. Thank you, Carolina, for dropping that link and that code into the chat for everybody. Students, I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I wish all of you a fantastic rest of your day. Much love to all of you wherever you are in the world right now. Bye, everybody.